Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to look at browser agents and how it's going to help us in our agentic workflows. Now, why do we really need browser agents? So when you want to extract some information from the web, every website is very different. Some of the websites will have a lot of interactive components like JavaScripts, and you might not be able to use the same technique to extract information across websites and interact with them. So that's why you need a robust browser agent, which has multiple techniques inside it, so that depending on the website, on a trial and error basis, it'll kind of figure out the right way, method, cost-effective method to use to get extract the required data from it. So that's the purpose of browser agent, and now we'll see that in action as part of our shopping agent. So here's our shopping agent, and along with the search bar, we are also introduced few controls for sorting, urgent delivery, and minimum discounts. We have introduced this control so that I can make the browser agent do similar actions on the Amazon website to really test the capability. So let me go ahead and kick off search, fossil watch for women, and I need the delivery urgently for my wife's upcoming birthday. So let me kick off a search. I also have an option here to see how I recommend. This shows us what happens under the hood. So you can see that the entire graph is there. So planner node is complete, which maps out the entire graph in the beginning. Then you have the browser node that is currently running. So I've kept the headless option as off so that I can actually see what's happening and how the browser agent is actually interacting. Given my requirement was urgent, it has automatically done the tick mark of get it tomorrow. This is the action I wanted to see. And then it has extracted the required information. So if you click on the browser node now, I can see exactly what method it has used to done that filtering. It has used the vision method. Vision is where it has taken a screenshot and then sent it to LLM and understand where the option is and then finally do a tick mark. And then you have the product shortlister module, which the first one extracts all the 10, 15 products, and then the product shortlister extracts the top three products based on the volume of reviews that are configured. And then you also have a critic node, which understands if it has met all the required conditions. And here, in this case, it has given a pass. Once the shortlisting critic is done, now we kick off three parallel browser agents to go and analyze the individual product page in detail. All the product details, the customer reviews, all of that. So this is also completed in parallel, and here you can go and see the path. So here you see the path is just extract because here we are not doing any UI controls. So it's just a simple extract. So it has done using the regular method, and this is more cost effective. And then we have our product analyst agent. What it'll do is using the extracted information, it'll try to create detailed analysis of each product individually across 5 dimensions. So we'll wait for the analysis to be complete. Now you see that the product analysis is complete, the detailed analysis. It has done the analysis across different dimensions, as I mentioned, customer sentiment, reliability across three products. And then you have the final recommendation, which looks at all these individual analysis and give you the result. Now let's go back to the portal. You can see that the results is now come back with the final recommendation from the recommendation agent and the individual analysis by the individual analysis agent. And it has done the evaluation across different dimensions individually. This was done by the product analyst agent, and then the recommendation was the final one given by the recommendation agent. And of course, I can click from here to go to the right page and directly order that product. And you can see that it's delivered by today itself, so it meets my urgent requirement as well. Now let me go into the logs to showcase some of the other details that is required. Let me do a preview. This is the custom log file I created. So here you can see this is my original query that I had, and the other filters that I applied in the UI is also passed along. The planet DAG graph is what we already saw. The browser cascade actually shows the vision as an interaction path. And here you can see the exact snapshots of interactions that is happening. Here you see turn one, it's just a plain vanilla search results page. And then it is reloading. It has selected get it tomorrow option, you can see here. And based on that, the three top products are extracted. I haven't included the second extraction because it's a simpler uh, product and list extraction. And then this is the final recommendation matrix. Anyway, we saw the more uh, formatted one on the portal itself. And this is the final recommendation summary. And this is the cost and performance summary of this. So these are the different nodes that was there in the graph and the different providers that was used. And these are the different latencies, tokens in and tokens out for this particular call. So this the first demo is the more detailed one, or explaining the use of browser agent and how it does end to end. In the following demos, I'll keep it short with little more different use cases of browser agents. Let me go ahead and search for some more products now. Kids tricycle. Now I want the agent to actually apply selective discounts. Let me select about 25% discount and hit search. So let me go behind the scenes. So I'm not going to go in detail on what happens behind the scenes because we have seen one in detail. But at a high level, planner is first completes the job, creates the entire graph, and then the browser then runs, tries out multiple methods. Again, it's a headless false browser setting, so it also shows up on the UI. So it tried a few settings that came up, and then again, it'll try multiple other methods. Here I have asked it to apply for discounts. Discounts is a filter that's slightly below. So it has to scroll down and then look at the discounts and then apply the discounts. So you can see that the discounts is now applied. It's 25%. And now it can extract all the relevant information. Now you see that the browser is complete. The shortlist is complete based on selecting the top three products. And then the critic is now work in progress. It's analyzing the current products. And after that, it'll again do a similar function of doing multitasking of the critic is complete and then multitasking of browser actions. Here you can see the browser path taken is again vision, 6 turns taken. And here the critic is complete. The following extraction, like last time, is a simple extract path because it's a product details page. And then the product analyst does a comparison across different dimensions. And then finally, we have the product recommendation, choosing one of them. So let me go to the final results page. So here you can see the recommendations across different products along with their ratings, reviews, and the top recommended product as well. So let me go back to the logs as well for this case. So here, let me look at the latest logs. Again, this is the custom preview file, log file that I've written to showcase the work. So here the original query was kids tricycle and the additional filters was the discount. The DAG chart is what we just saw. The browser path is vision. And then as you saw, the first screenshot, it took scrolling down, it again took the remaining part of the screenshot. The discount section is there. So here you can see the scroll down, the third scroll down, and then finally it applied for the filter. And then you can see here that the filter is applied 25% or more. And then after it applies, the data is extracted, the top three. And then I've also added the logs for the product analyst here. So it goes through, analyzes the three products parallelly, extracting all the possible information that is there. And then the final recommendation matrix comes up with the overall recommendation. And this is also the overall summary of the different nodes, the different models used, their latency, tokens in, tokens out. So that's the quick log of the second use case. Now let's go ahead and do another use case of making the browser agent access dropdowns. Let me go ahead and select bestseller smartwatches and let's hit search. And behind the scenes will be very similar. So I'm going to fast forward this section. I'm going to go into the details. It will start with the planner node, which will build out the entire graph. And the second is the browser node. Again, browser's goal is to first sort by bestsellers and then extract the top 10 items. It will go through multiple methods that it has, the cost-effective ones first, and then the more expensive ones. And based on that, the remaining graph will continue. We'll just look at how the agent behaves with the dropdown. The first demo was on the checkbox. The second demo was on the link-based discounts. And the third one now is the dropdown. Okay, so you can see that the bestseller list is now applied and the browser is now complete. The shortlisting is complete. The critic nodes are currently evaluating. That should also get completed. And rest of the graph just completes just like the first two demos that we saw. There's no complexity here because the second part is just basic extraction. Okay, now it looks like the entire flow is now complete. Let's go to the results page. And here you can see similar summary and the individual analysis as well, which are the bestseller smartwatches. So that's the client demos. Let me just pull out the logs as well for this particular flow. Again, going through the customized logs that I created. Let me go through the preview. So this is the original user goal. Again, the planner tag is what we just saw as a graph. Here again, vision interaction path was used. Here's the flow, turn one, it went to the page, took a screenshot, turn two, it selected this field, you can see that. Turn three, clicked on the button and the options got opened. Turn four, you can see that the bestsellers were selected and the results were loaded. Based on the results, the top three records were selected. It gave three, and then the next stage, the three were selected. And as part of the next stage, we will do a deep dive analysis of each products. For this, the basic interaction path is what is enough. So extract, 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 three extracts, and the final recommendation metrics that you saw on the UI. And again, this is the overall cost and performance board. I think there was one delay with the critic because of the gateway, but otherwise things were pretty much the same. Because we are using Vision, there were slightly higher tokens, but these are all based on the free credits that we have for Gemini Lite. So that's the end of all the three demos. So we saw how the browser agent is able to interact with a drop-down, a link-based discount filter, a checkbox, understanding the user's intent, and how the planner kind of guides the browser agent on what should be done first. And then the browser agent follows that and does that on the website. So comes in really handy when you have to do operations on website that you can't do with basic scrapping. So that's the end of this demo. Thanks for watching.